In a poignant chapter of resilience and survival, a Yazidi woman, Fawzia Amin Sido, has recently been freed after years of captivity under Islamic State. She was kidnapped in the year 2014 by Islamic State and with other Yazidi girls who were kidnapped as sex slaves. The girl was later sold to a Hamas fighter and forced to marry her captive. A US State Department spokesperson provided details about Fawzia's rescue, emphasizing the operation's complexity.
You're right, we did recently help safely evacuate from Gaza a young Yazidi woman so she could be reunited with her family in Iraq. The circumstances of this case really hard to describe. This is a now young woman who 10 years ago, when she was an 11-year-old girl, was kidnapped by ISIS in Iraq, sold, and forced to marry a Hamas fighter in Gaza, moved to Gaza against her will. The recent death of her captor in Gaza allowed her to escape. And we were contacted by the Iraqi government, who was made aware of the fact that she escaped, that she was alive, and that she wanted to come home to her family. And the government of Iraq asked us to do whatever we could to get her out of Gaza and get her home. So over the past few weeks, we worked with a number of our partners in the region to get her out of Gaza, to get her safely home, obviously with the government of Israel, and with other partners as well, to get her out of Gaza, get her home to her family, and I can say now that she is safely home with her family in Iraq. I would ask that, obviously this is someone who's gone through pretty difficult circumstances, we would ask that everyone respect her privacy, of course.
But before we go into the details, let's understand who are Yazidi. The Yazidis are an ancient ethno-religious group, primarily found in northern Iraq. Their beliefs, a unique blend of Zoroastrianism, Christianity, and Islam, have often placed them at odds with dominant religious ideologies. This distinct identity has made them a target for persecution for centuries, facing violence from various empires throughout history. From the Ottoman Empire to the present day, the Yazidis have endured forced conversions, massacres, and attempts to erase their culture. The community has been systematically marginalized, leading to a painful history marked by oppression and displacement. In August 2014, the Islamic State launched a brutal attack on the Yazidi community in the Sinjar region of northern Iraq, marking the start of a campaign classified by the United Nations as genocide. On August 3rd, IS militants targeted Sinjar city and surrounding villages, resulting in mass killings and the abduction of thousands of Yazidis. Many fled to Mount Sinjar, where they were besieged and faced starvation in extreme heat. Estimates suggest that between 5,000 and 10,000 Yazidis were killed, while over 6,000 women and children were kidnapped, enduring horrific abuses such as sexual slavery and forced labor. Systematic violence against the Yazidis include the execution of men and the sale of women and girls into slavery, which documented manuals detailing the exploitation of Yazidi women. The aftermath of the genocide has left approximately 400,000 Yazidis displaced, many residing in camps in the Kurdistan region of Iraq, while around 2,800 Yazidi women and children remain missing. International report for the Yazidi community continues. The Free Yazidi Foundation, Nadia's initiative, and the UN Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights all work diligently to find and rescue missing Yazidi women and children, as well as offer humanitarian aid and lobby for justice. Like Fawzia, there are several women who were earlier kidnapped but is now advocating, like Nadia Murad, who was abducted by IS at the age of 19. She was held captive for 3 months, during which she endured horrific abuse. After escaping, she became a global advocate for the rights of Yazidis and victims of sexual violence. receiving the Nobel Peace Prize in 2018 for her efforts. Lamia Aji Bashar, who was also kidnapped by Islamic State at a young age and was subjected to sexual slavery. She managed to escape after being held for several months. Lamia has spoken out about her experience and has worked to raise awareness about the plight of Yazidi women. Many Yazidi women have been rescued from displacement camps or through various international efforts since the genocide. Organizations like Free Yazidi Foundations continue to work towards locating and rescuing missing Yazidi women and children. Fawzia's rescue exemplifies the value of international collaboration. However, the Yazidi community's fight continues, with continued displacement, trauma, persecution, and bloodshed. Bureau Report, India Today Global.